Again, this is the Brown Kraft paper, just showing you here. The last time you looked at this, it had all the lines on there, and then I started spreading my colors, my acrylics on top of there. And then there's a point where I start doing stuff and I don't necessarily like what I'm doing, and it hits an ugly stage. But with all of that, what happens is I get to explore my stamping, I get to explore my spreading, I get to explore splattering, making more lines on top of there, exploring the opaque, the light, the dark, on top of each other, you know, which one works and which one stands out, like this part right in here, which I will, you know, zoom in a little bit. You know, this is really nice, you know, the contrast here with the dark background and the light, how that stands out there. And then I made this line here, and I'll show you that, how I did that, is I actually used another piece of paper, and I took my sponge roller and then I just rolled down the edge of the paper. So you'll see some line areas that, and I'll zoom back out a little bit. You'll see these lines that are in here with that color. That was just the paper on the surface of it. I had extra acrylic paints on there, and so what I did is I used up what was on my sponge, and I made a piece of paper and played around with just the white drawing paper, so that now, as you can see, I can bring this into the collage later on because I'm using the same papers that are there. So you can work with these, you can build your own palette that way. I'm not necessarily all finished with this, and I'm just showing you that. Again, turning it around. There's areas that I really like, and there's areas I'm not too sure of, but they can pull in all those different colors. Now this part here, I just wanted to show you. You see these lines? I've got it going all the way through the whole big sheet. Then I took, let me get that stamping tool. This I think is like for your steps. Using that, you know, like so that it's a slip guard or whatever on steps. Well, I put a piece of wood and I glued it to that. So then I've taken and used my sponge roller, added the acrylic, and then I've stamped. So I have a repetitiveness, you know, bringing that repetitiveness, the pattern in there, and printing on that on the surface here. It creates nice areas to bring into work. And there's many layers that are underneath there. So I'm going to work on this a little bit more. And, you know, there's areas where I want to play against that light and dark. If it's light there, put dark on top. If it's dark, put light on top of there. So this actually works with getting you to work with contrast. Getting you, if this was the turquoise blue and then I put the yellow in there, that's what you see here, the yellow and the turquoise blue. I got this green. So I'm staying within my palette and I'm working with them, adding lights and darks on there. Just had a really good time today. Again, what I'm going to do is just kind of zoom in just a little bit more, and I'm just going to move the papers around just so that you can see some of the detail, which I will add some more detail in as I go along. You can see there's some really nice areas that, you know, can be really great in collage work, playing with that. Okay, and then I also, you know, like the edges of the paper here, right here, I just took the sponge roller and I just rolled a little bit just so that the edge, you know, it's got something interesting right along the edge, you know, that's there. So again, this is the big Brown Kraft paper, and I am working at making a big piece. It was supposed to be fall colors. Somehow or another, it became what it was and what it is, I mean. But I am thinking about fall, all the different colors, the greens, maybe reds, yellows. I think I might need to mix some oranges and bring those in there a little bit and play with the red and the orange that's there, you know, that's out there in the fall. So there's a direction to go in, and just having some good fun learning to use some of the different tools, you know, still using a spreader, using some stamping, you know, stenciling. I've got the little sponge roller, all these different tools. You get to muck up or play, learn about patterns, learn about contrast, learn about value, dark and light values, learn about mixing your papers. It just, I don't know, I just enjoy this time in the studio when I'm playing with it. And then I get to make papers and add these colors in other papers, so then I have a nice palette for my collage.